It's been described as one of the finest organs in the country, and when it was installed by William Hill in 1894, it was the largest instrument of its type in the United Kingdom. But times change, and as of this year, Peterborough Cathedral organ is moving with them. This is the story of its journey towards concert pitch, the inspiration behind the project to the people who've made it happen, the choir and organists who work with it day in, day out, to the organ builders called in to work on each and every pipe, with the odd robot thrown in for good measure. This is Pipewatch.
I'm sitting at the console of our fine William Hill pipe organ. The instrument was put in 1894 and at the time was the largest cathedral organ in the country. This is a very important instrument and we've taken a decision to have it repitched. At the moment, this organ is at old Philharmonic pitch, which is appreciably sharp to our standard concert pitch that we now use.
A bit sharp. That's no big deal, I hear some of you thinking. I'm sure it's barely noticeable. Well, allow organ scholar Jeremy Lloyd to help demonstrate with the Cathedral's concert pitch chamber organ. So this is what it sounds like when the organ plays with concert pitch instruments. But what's it like for singers who can technically produce notes at any pitch standard? Someone who's more qualified than most to comment is Grammy Award-winning international choral conductor David Hill, who also lives near Peterborough. He was the organist and master of music at Westminster Cathedral when their organ was repitched in the 1980s.
Children particularly are very quick to know whether the pitch is working for them or not. They probably will get to used to something which is quite sharp or flat, but the rest of the time they'll be listening to music which is, pitched at a normal kind of level. I think that there are many issues about those instruments which are very flat or very sharp, as distinct from being just a little bit. Now I think the situation both in Westminster Cathedral, which was in fact flatness, which had to be then corrected to sharpness, whereas in Peterborough it's actually sharpness being made flatter. Either of those things becomes complex because you have to go through particular processes. But along the way, yes, the pitch shift is in order to be able to make sure that not just children, but indeed adults who also, it's all about muscular memory, about singing. It's about remembering where to place the sound. You don't want to be placing it constantly higher than is natural, or indeed what you do the rest of the time.
So, coming out of the swell box...
To really understand the magnitude of this repitch, you need to understand the magnitude of the organ itself, and to do that, you need a tour.
So, this is the back of the pedal organ. You can see the notes are identified. And we'll go a bit further east, and another door, we can go inside. So if we just climb up here, you might like to see here the 16-foot pedal pipes, so-called 16-foot pipes because the speaking length, i.e. the length from the mouth, you'll see the side of the mouth just there, from the mouth to the top is 16, the longest pipe within that set of pipes is 16 feet long. So here we are at the grate. Each of these individual pipes corresponds to one note on the keyboard on one particular stop, and underneath the wind supply comes into the foot of the pipe. If I take the pipe out, you can see a blow it like this. So it's really okay, it's metal, but it's like a giant set of recorders or flutes. Must put that back in the right place. Make sure the foot's in securely. So that's one individual pipe, and there are 5,286 of them. This is the western end, the western extremity of the organ, and you see here the top of the 32-foot open wood, the double open wood. These are the longest pipes on the instrument, certainly the largest, and they're lying on their side because there's not enough space for them to stand up. So this repitching work is important. It will allow the instrument to be used with orchestras, with brass bands. It will give us one pitch standard for the choir here, which is something that generations of directors of music here have wished to do. Essentially, in order to make the pitch lower, each pipe needs to be lengthened. Now, one or two of the pipes it may be possible simply to retune them, but the majority of the pipes will have to be lengthened, and that will be done at Harrison's workshop. And as these video diaries unfold, Harrison's will show you the process of that lengthening. The materials will be matched and the extra pieces will be fitted in order that the pipes can play at the lower pitch. So it's a big job. All of the pipes need to be adjusted, need to be lengthened, including these very large open wood pipes.
5,286 pipes, and from the smallest to the largest, each and every one of them needs to be repitched. This is just the beginning of the adventure. See you in a few months when Pipewatch continues.